Senator Wyden, I know our time is coming to a close. I did want to respond to one thing that Chairman Locke has said, and I want to make it absolutely clear. This administration is acutely focused on the needs of Americans to find the jobs that we so desperately want to accompany this economic recovery. And we believe having a smart, thoughtful, aggressive export policy is a way to do that. We share the concerns of this committee about some of our challenges with China, but I want to make sure we don't give the American public the impression that it would be in the best interest, economic interest of the United States of America to withdraw from the global trading community. 95% of the world's consumers live someplace else other than the United States. The fastest growing region economically, as you noted, is in the Asia-Pacific realm, and then including China, India, Russia, and Brazil. It is critically important that we deal with the issues that we address, but at the same time, that we also continue to remind the American public that the future of our economy, the future of our economic well-being for our children lies partly in our ability to continue to relate in a commercial way and sell Americans' goods, services, and agriculture products to the rest of the world. We look forward to working with you to make that happen.
Let me just respond, Mr. Secretary, to this point, because I want to stick up for the chairman on this. I can tell you I have never, ever heard Chairman Baucus talking about, to use your words, Mr. Ambassador, withdrawing from the global trading economy.
Oh, and I didn't mean to suggest that he did. I want to make sure that I did not.
I want to make it clear that we're talking about how we're going to tap these opportunities. And I listened to the words that you and the Secretary use. They're important, particularly in trade policy. You have to listen, to the details. You know I'm an admirer of yours, but I want to disagree profoundly with something you said. You said that the process, in your words, the coordination is working quite well in this area. Mr. Ambassador, I think what you're hearing from the senators is we don't think the coordination is going particularly well. We can't figure out who's accountable. And if you look at the product, what we know, the product in the area of green goods, and particularly exporting, these value-added products, we continue to fall behind. Report after report after report of independent analysts says that in the green goods area, we are falling further behind. So I say to someone I admire and respect, when you tell me the process, to use your words, is working quite well, I've got to tell you I have a different opinion. Now, I think we're up to changing it. We're going to work with you to get this done. But if we don't make improvements in this area, in a state like mine that consistently is close to 11% unemployment, we're not going to be able to turn this around. So I want to let Secretary Locke chime in on this, but both with respect to anybody around here withdrawing from the global trading economy, not on our watch, and certainly with respect to coordination, I want the record to show that I think we got to do a lot better job. We can't say it's working well when we're falling behind this way. Secretary Locke?
Thank you very much, Senator Wyden. I just do want to point out that at the most recent JCCT meeting, the Chinese did agree to remove local content requirements on wind turbines. Just last month, I came back from a first ever clean energy trade mission to China, and we were successful in helping some medium-sized and small-sized companies, including some from the Pacific Northwest, secure over some $20 million in sales, much more than they had ever anticipated prior to going on the trip. And the focus of Ambassador Kirk and myself has been in all these meetings with the Chinese officials to level the playing field to make sure that American companies have fair access, the same access that the Chinese companies have, that all we want is a level playing field. But let me tell you that with respect to how do we increase the jobs, especially in the clean energy field, the Chinese are spending almost some $9 billion a month investing in the clean energy sector, energy efficiency, alternative energy. And they're doing this, and I think this is the sentiment of the members of your committee, they're doing this not just to address their greenhouse gas emissions or to meet their energy needs. They're trying to become the world supplier of alternative energy and energy efficiency. And we have too many U.S. companies that excel in this technology. but they're underperforming simply because we don't have a clear U.S. energy policy. Too many companies, too many investors are sitting on the sidelines waiting for a clear signal from the United States Congress or the United States government, quite frankly, in terms of policy. And companies, investors, shareholders do not want to invest in technology A if ultimate U.S. policy supports technology B. And in the meantime, too much capital is sitting on the sidelines. And if we don't move quickly, and I know you support a U.S. energy policy, but the longer we wait, the farther ahead the Chinese or the Germans or the Danes will be in terms of the next economic opportunity of the 21st century, clean energy.
Let me just close with this, because I think this sums it up. I mean, we unquestionably see these signs of progress in one area or another. The fact is, we continue to fall further behind. China is imposing tariffs of up to 30% on some green goods. This is flagrant protectionism, And I want to see the administration more aggressively get those barriers visible. The public needs to know about it, and put the bully pulpit behind getting them changed. And I just look at these negotiations, and Secretary Geithner sat where you all are, I think about a week or so ago. We asked him about indigenous innovation. He said that there were various agreements being discussed, but the highlight was essentially China was going to move into the world procurement effort as part of the negotiations. And I said, what an example of slow walking. They promised that 10 years ago. And yet a secretary sits at the witness table and says, that's what we're looking forward to. They're going to join the World Procurement Organization. So we need to have a much more aggressive, effort. I acknowledge what Secretary Locke has said about examples of one sort or another, but what is indisputable is we are falling further behind. And with China imposing tariffs of up to 30% on some green goods, I want, as the chairman of the Trade Subcommittee and somebody who is consistently, to use your words, Mr. Ambassador, work to expand the global trading system. Because I think trade is a democratizing force. I think it's good for workers. I think it helps generate markets for exporters, and those products are good for people around the world. But we got a lot of heavy lifting to do. We'll be following this up with both of you. Unless either of you have anything you'd like to add, been a long afternoon, and we will excuse you at this time.
We thank you for your leadership and look forward to working with you.
Thank you for yours, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Yours, Mr. Secretary. The Senate Finance Committee is adjourned.